Hi ladies, my name is Kristin. I'm the founder and farmer here at Love and Grit Farm in Montgomery County, Maryland. And I am so excited to be here today to talk to you about goal setting. So I hope you enjoy this video. Love and Grit Farm was started in 2019. We are only a year old, so if anybody is fresh in the entrepreneur world, it's myself. And my background is nowhere near farming. In fact, I used to work in information technologies for the government for 12 years before I decided to make a change. And goal setting, I have used even before I started this business. And I want to talk a little bit about that because no matter what you do, you'll still use the same skills in business and in life in order to move forward and accomplish your goals. Let's talk for a minute about what goal setting is. Goal setting is making an intentional statement about something that you would like to accomplish in the future, and also making a plan in order to get there. Let's get down to business, or should I say goal setting. Now, there are several different kinds of goals that you might come across. You might have measurable goals, something like, next year I would like to sell 50 boxes of cookies. Or you can have a softer goal, something that maybe doesn't have a number behind it, such as, this year I would like to do better than I did last year. Or this year I would like to sell cookies in new places that I didn't sell in last year. And so you can see there's a difference between these two goals, something that you can put a number behind or that's easily measured, or something that's a little bit softer. Now, regardless of what kinds of goals you set for yourself, the important thing is that the goal is moving you in the same direction that you would like to be moving in. So even if you don't know exactly where you're going to be down the road, if you know the general direction or the vision for what you're trying to accomplish, it will be very easy for you to set goals. Okay, so step one, before we talk about the plan, is let's make our goals. At the end of this video, I'm going to challenge each and every one of you to make 2 goals for yourself. Now, one goal I want you to make more challenging than the other one because I'd like to share with you a little secret. If you make a goal and you don't quite reach it, you are still moving in the right direction if you've placed that goal on the path towards the vision for where you'd like to go. And so fear not, it is okay if you set a really high goal and you don't reach it. You are still going to accomplish great things as you work towards it. Keep that one in mind. So step 2 in the goal setting process is to make a plan. So once we've defined our goal, that's not good enough. Now we have to set a list of steps that we are going to take that are going to get us closer and closer and closer to that goal. So if we follow those lists of steps, almost like following a recipe, we are going to get ourselves one step closer to accomplishing our goal. And that way, it also doesn't feel so overwhelming because even though the goal is so far in the future and we haven't done it before and it's a new thing and it's different, that can be a little bit scary. But having a plan in place with steps that all make sense to us, where all we have to do is focus on the step that we have going on for us right now, it makes goal setting much more achievable rather than a shot in the dark. So let me give you an example. Say your goal was to bake a big, beautiful cake for your mom. What would step 1 be? Well, for me, step 1 would be researching different recipes and deciding on what kind of cake I'm going to make based on something maybe somebody else has done. My step 2 would probably be reading through that recipe very carefully and pulling out a list of shopping ingredients that I would need to get from the grocery store, as well as any other supplies. So now I have a plan of what I need to buy in order for the cake. Step 3, I would get all of those things. Step 4, I would follow the recipe and bake the cake. And step 5, I would eat my delicious cake that I just made. Okay, here's the big one. Step 3. Oh, did you think you were done when your goal was over? No, Nope, there's more to this than that. Step 3 in the goal setting process is what I like to call lessons learned. Now, maybe other people have different steps, but I want to share with you what my process is because this has worked really well for me. Lessons learned. It is an opportunity for you to celebrate all of the things that you did really well. And it's an opportunity for you to think about fixing the things that you didn't do so well. Because just think about it. If for the next time you set a goal, you get to do it a little bit better, then your goal can be even a little bit higher than the one that you had the year before. See, goal setting is not something you're just going to do this one time. Goal setting is a skill, and it gives you the ability to do great things in life and in business, whatever you decide to do. And so here's what I do for my lessons learned. Once the goal is complete, say it's done, say the cookie year is over and you've sold all of your cookies and you had a goal to sell 40 boxes of cookies, but you sold 35, and you're a little bummed about that because you didn't reach your goal. Fear not, because what you're going to do is you're going to make a list of the things you did really well and a list of things that were problem areas for you, or looking back, you would do differently this year. And oftentimes, these are things that you think about as you're going through the steps of your process. And so sometimes even the lessons learned is jotting a note down or talking to a friend and saying, hey, remind me when this is all over, I would do this differently. And oftentimes the things that we would change in the next go around are areas where we're seeing problems along the way. Say we get stuck on a step because we didn't do a lot of planning, or we didn't plan enough time in advance for something to get done. That's okay, because next time when you've set a goal, you'll leave more time for the planning, or you'll say, hey, I didn't even think about needing to plan for this, but I ran into that problem last year and I'm going to remember this so I don't forget again, because there's nothing worse than being on the next cycle of goal setting and you make the same mistake again. And so you can actually improve your skill in goal setting if you, over time, learn what you did wrong and fix it and celebrate the things you did well so that you remember and you do them again. I have to say too, I'm going to make a little note here, a little side note, that if you can't think of anything that you didn't do great, if you had no problem areas, if you can't write down something that you would do differently next time because it might have a better outcome, then perhaps your goal wasn't challenging enough. So I would challenge you to make your next goal a little bit harder. I'm going to review these steps with you very briefly,